there's so many layers to everything before it gets to us. And I guess what I'm saying is that sort of can we shorten our supply chains? How can we shorten our supply chains even when we're doing great? And you realize that, how many of you think mushrooms are expensive? Right? Like even anything that I've shared, mushrooms are expensive. Mushrooms are expensive because we're paying for somebody to do the work for us. How many layers are that? So Cody, actually, he's here. He wants all of us to be customers of like taking care of ourselves and living connected to nature. He's the like worst salesperson in the entire world, right, Cody?
Yeah,
it's like
pretty bad.
Best guy, worst salesperson. That's why we want to buy from him. But to buy Cody's mushrooms, it's actually, we need to buy products that use Cody's mushrooms because he's trying to supply the businesses that use mushrooms. So my first thing that Cody's not going to ask is, if you know anybody who is using mushrooms in their product, chaga or otherwise, then ask them if they're wild, ask them where they get them from, and get them to call Cody because his are the best and they're the kindest. That's that. And Cody, what are the benefits if we all decided to have products with your chaga or take chaga either directly from you as a powder or tincture? What are the benefits? What do we use it for?
There's a lot of them. So like each one has a different set of benefits, and with each person too, you can develop a different relationship with the mushroom. But specifically chaga, like for example, I remember 6 months ago I saw this. It was an article about how the pharmaceutical industry uses or makes 42 anti-cancer drugs out of betulinic acid, which is one component in chaga, but they isolate it and synthesize it, and they make anti-cancer drugs. It's got anti-cancer properties in it. It's got immunomodulating properties in it, which, you know, if you have an overactive immune system, it'll suppress it. And if you have an underactive immune system, it'll raise it. Anti-inflammatory properties. I think, 90% or more of all pain is derived from some sort of inflammation. So if you reduce swelling in your body, then you can reduce pain. There's lots of others too.
Thank you. So I just want you to repeat again. So the drug companies, what was that article? What was that stat? Even if it's not, I can look it up too. But what was the stat?
From what I remember was when I read it, and it could have changed because it was 6 to 12 months ago, but 42 drugs that a pharmaceutical company makes is out of betulinic acid. And betulinic acid is in birch bark, which is in the tree of the chaga, what its host tree. So it goes into the mushroom, and it's a terpene. So you need alcohol. Did I lose you?
Nope, got you.
Oh, okay, phone glitched out there. So it's a triterpenoid, or a terpene for short, but you need ethanol. Hot water won't pull out betulinic acid. You need it's a non-water soluble component. So in order to get betulinic acid out, you need to take a tincture, right? Like a dual extract either, or just a straight ethanol tincture, or like a high proof vodka. You can pull it out with that too. You can pull it out with oils like olive oil, vinegar can pull it out.
I have a question. I don't know if you guys are thinking about this, but if there's that many drugs, so drug companies are buying chaga or however, controlling some kind of chaga and making it into an anti-cancer drug or some kind of drug. Would you rather take that? Think of how long that supply chain is and where the money's going, or would you rather just actually take the chaga? And second part to that question to think about, meditate on, is, I think about that, and I think about how if you do something alternative, like it would be considered alternative to take chaga over something else. Why is that considered alternative if it's actually in its pure raw form and made directly for us for something?
Yeah, and I think too, like when you do have an isolate or like, you isolate a component. I'm not saying that the big pharmaceutical companies, like pharmaceutical drugs do have a place, I think that there are, but the level of corruption involved in it kind of puts not people's best interest at heart, but I think a big important part about natural medicine too is you're working with the whole plant. Like all these components in the plant have synergistic relationships with other components. So when you isolate one of them, you do get pretty severe side effects a lot of the times. So if you want to work, directly with the plant, it may not be as potent as, say, a pharmaceutical drug, but you're also, the components are supposed to be working in your body synergistically with other components. So you're going to get benefits from all sorts of different stuff with natural medicine, but you can't patent a mushroom. So they don't.
You can't patent a mushroom, right? So, and I know most of you get that. So.